do that. Understand the child psychology, how to set the question paper, how to evaluate the paper, how to teach in the classrooms. But in higher education, it is not there. But the policy says that during PhD, because PhD is mandatory for higher education teachers, but UGC relaxed it temporarily, but the mandate is PhD is mandatory for higher education teachers. During PhD, it says as a coursework, there should be minimum 2 subjects which is part of education, so that once he enters as a teacher, then he is already trained to be an educator. That is what this policy says. Okay. I will not talk much about it because it is today's topic is regarding implementation. Correct? No? What we can implement. Therefore, I am not covering any of these things. But only thing what I want to say about vocational education is make vocational education integrated into your system. What do you mean by that? For example, a computer science student should know how to repair the computer. Just an example I am giving. Electronic student, he should know how to repair all electronic devices. Repairing, doing hands-on. We have to do that. Okay, in Manipal, what we have tried is a first-year engineering program. We taught him plumbing. We are teaching them electrical, so that he can repair his any branch he may go, but he should know how to fix the plumbing issues at home, how to fix electrical issues at the home. So these are taught in first year in Manipal, but it was not part of the AICTE, but we have started that as a program. There is engineering drawing, there is other subjects, but these are the 2 things what we experimented. How to repair a cycle, how to repair a car. These things are taught as skill course, vocational course. So in every course, you please add it. It's very important, which can be done easily. Without any additional expenses, you can do it. But you should not ignore it. Ensure that every graduate knows these skills through vocational education. And vocational education should be integral part of the main education. Right. National Research Foundation. Create a strong culture of research and knowledge creation in multidisciplinary university. Most of the time, the higher education is a knowledge creation center. What is research? I always tell my research scholar, you want a PhD, tell me the DX. DX means a small quantity. Tell me the DX, what you added to the existing knowledge. Whatever may be, a minute of the minute thing. But if you do not add that minute of the minute thing into the existing knowledge, then why you want PhD? Very simple question it is. But now, unfortunately, scenarios are changing. You publish 2 papers, you will get PhD. Okay? So, whether they are doing research or they are learning how to write papers, most of the time we have seen people are publishing more or publishing before starting research. What is publication, you tell me? What is publication? I have done something, I have created something. If I want to share with the world, I need to go for publishing. I have not done anything, but still I am busy in publishing. People are really a very good cook in a higher education institution. What they are cooking? They are cooking datas. Any kind of cooking they will do, and they will make a paper. And people are busy in publishing paper, but nobody is reading papers. I don't know whether you agree with me or not, or you may be doing wonderful job, I am not questioning it. But people are busy in publishing, not busy in reading. I have seen some people, they are publishing 50, 55 papers in a year. I am not able to read 55 papers in a year. They are publishing 50, 55 papers. And they are getting incentivized by the system. Very unfortunate. Where we are going. That itself is called as rat race. Unfortunately. Right? So, very important thing is, I told you today morning also, how many papers you published is the target for a teacher. Unfortunately, institutes is also under rat race, and teachers are also under rat race, but students are also under rat race. Everybody is fighting. Nobody is in the process of learning. We are out of that. Unfortunately, nobody appreciates us. Huh? Yeah, it's a world scenario now. It's a world scenario, right? Because everybody wants to be ranked. The question is, there are some universities even in Europe, there are top universities from Germany also, they are not part of any ranking. They said, go to hell, I will not partake. Ranking is a big business. I'm not talking about NIRF because it's a government run, there is no business for it. But you look at other ranking, there are so many business models. Professor can authenticate it, right? Because it's very unfortunate. I was sharing during the lunch time, one industry which has not suffered during COVID is a publishing industry. How many of you agree? One industry which is not suffered is a publishing industry. They published, they made billions of dollars. And we are also contributing to it. And we are not, something different. Even Western world, I'm telling. Even the Western world, they are competing. Now China is producing like anything. China can produce anything, including publications. Right? So now the question here is, we are all part of the rat race. At least some sincerity can make us different. We need to do that. That is the reason we need to ask, what is the DX I have added to the existing knowledge so that university can give me a PhD? That is the reason I always say that, what is the difference between an honorary doctorate and a doctorate? Honorary doctorate. Now I am not taking about the honorary doctorate, what is happening. Honorary doctorate in the true sense means that somebody who has done great things to this country or to a particular domain, and he is not coming and writing theses, defending theses. University's duty is to go and recognize his contribution and set an example for the whole world that this is the person. But unfortunately, that is also misused now. But we need to ask ourselves and correct wherever possible. A small correction. I always strongly believe that if I can correct myself, I have reduced one fool in this world. If I can correct myself, I reduced one fool. Can we do that? Yes. Right? So, the first one is the strong culture. Any university to survive, research is the only way. Research and internship in UG. Please give research project to undergraduate student. If you have not done it, make it. Okay? But when it is initiated, faculty starts entering there, and faculty will get the benefit. Faculty will get the authorship. They will push the students away. This is also a bad practice. If there is something of that kind, you need to take care of that. But UG students' brain is fresh. Allow them to do research at the early stage. The better is second year, they have to start thinking about research. Please include it in your BOS also, in your laboratory also. There should be small research component, what they can do it. Incentivize those students. Give them some seed fund wherever they require. That helps the students very much. And your students will be different compared to other students. Weightage in faculty career management. Research component has to be given. I was discussing with professor. One who is a very good researcher, he can be a great teacher. In a true sense, I am saying. Not the PhD equal to research. I don't call PhD as a research. PhD is just a process. Research is the product. PhD is a byproduct. Right? So this product, byproduct, you heard me from many times for many instances. Research is a product. Continuously we need to do research. Paper is a byproduct. Paper is not a product. But unfortunately what's happening? Paper became a product. Research nowhere it is there. But basically we need to do that and try to correct it. Right? So let us not discuss these things. Recognizing outstanding research. Facilitate them. Okay? And then felicitate them. First we need to facilitate. And without facilitating, if you go for felicitation, they will throw you. They will throw you. First facilitate, then felicitate. It's very important that a student or a faculty or a young researcher should be recognized, nurtured, and felicitated. It's very important because that becomes a role model. Give them a good certificate. It helps them a lot. Okay, make a small program and give that, because we learned this by experiment, you know. There are so many things which students used to do. They never used to report to us, but we want that for our ranking and other things. How to collect the data? A simple way is start felicitating them, appreciate them. And our director started tea with the director. Tea with the director. Any students can come and take a tea with the director. That's all. Very simple measure, you know. Every week, one day, he will keep it a tea with the director. And those people will come and discuss with the director, have tea, and then, you know, he will give the certificate. They will say that, sir, I did this. He will appreciate. He will take a selfie with them. That selfie will go on Facebook. Branding automatically happen. Student happy, management happy, teacher happy, director happy. What is the cost? Zero. Now you will ask me, oh, Manipal plans. You know, because these are very important, which requires a different thinking. That's all. Different thinking. And you are capable of doing it. That's all. Only thing is, take that extra pain and do it. You will get the data also. Students are motivated. And parents are so happy, you know. You know, for example, a selfie with HOD. As a senior, we should be ready. Selfie with HOD means what? For a student, it's a memory, you know. For my students, there may be 500 students, 600 students. But for him, I am the only HOD. Correct? So taking a selfie, appreciating him, putting something on the notice board about him, it will motivate the whole team. Motivated people can do wonders. If there is no motivation in the students and the faculty, institutions will not survive. Recognize the outstanding research. Transforming the regulatory bodies. And people are in the NEP, Higher Education Commission of India is one umbrella body. One umbrella body. Under that, there are 4 verticals. Regulatory is taken by the Regulatory Council. Accreditation is taken by the Accreditation Council. Granting is taken by the Grant Council. Education is taken by the Education Council. And the policy clearly says that these are the 4 vertical which will be kept independently without any intervention. But the umbrella body is Higher Education Commission of India. This is what is stage by stage you are seeing that, right? There are several things the central government have already started doing it. Professional standard setting bodies for everything, right? But here they kept it separately because they don't want intervention of one person in other. And a faceless, transparent regulatory intervention using technology. This is what I said in the morning. Nobody will visit physically. It is a faceless, transparent regulatory system. Fee fixation, a transparent mechanism. Right. A single regulation for higher education, online self-disclosure based transparent system, common norms for public and private. That is what it says. Do you think it's going to happen so fast? If it happens, it is wonderful. But that is not the case as of today, right? So private philanthropic partnership need to be increased more. Fee fixation with a broad regulatory framework. You know, the public investment in education sector has to be 6% of the GDP. Effective governance, you know, strong and self-governance, it speaks. It's very important for all HODs and HOIs, please help your juniors to become leaders in education. Abdul Kalam, our president, used to say that if you create more and more leaders, you are the true leaders. But unfortunately, people are creating more slaves and they want to be a leader for slaves. We should not have fear of our juniors. Unfortunately, most of the seniors have fear of juniors because they think that, oh, tomorrow he may be threat to me. Nobody will threat to us. We have to encourage more and more people and help them to do well so that tomorrow they will come back. But our doubt is what? Oh, tomorrow if he becomes, I have to leave the chair and go and he will be a leader. He is so young, let him wait. My HOD troubled me, I will trouble him. Please come out of that culture and help your juniors. That's very important. And then only you can say that you can create a leadership plans. The leadership should not be accidental. It should be planned activity, identify and nurture the proper leaders. And in some institutions we have seen, there is only first layer, there is no second tier, third tier, fourth tier leaders. Institutions suffer. Every layer should have a leaders. You know, you should not say that, okay, at the age of 50 you come to leadership. No. If they display the leadership quality, help them and nurture them from the beginning. And everybody is not leader, you please note that. And everybody, whoever holds the position, are not leaders, they are managers. But we want true leaders for the education. Institution development plan. Okay? So professional education, there is something they said. Only thing what we need to remember about professional education is it should not be done in isolation. Why? All professional students should have flexibility to learn what they want to learn. So multidisciplinary learning should be supported for all professional students. For example, engineering students wants to learn something, there should be an option. If you don't have teacher, allow them to learn from online or somewhere, wherever you are allowed to accept the credit. Right. So this may not be important for you. Right. Promoting of Indian languages. I said language is culture, culture is nation. Please remember this sequence. It's very important. Otherwise, these boundaries will not define any nation. Boundaries are changing, always changing. You know, you look at the history, boundaries are changing, but the cultures are not changing. So the nation is nothing but the culture. So promotion of various arts and languages. I have gone to university as a Fulbright scholar in the US as a Fulbright scholar. Visited one university in Washington DC. It's a dumb and deaf university. Except two translators, nobody is able to speak or hear anything, including the chancellor of the university. We are fortunate to, listen to her. She presented, but it is translated to us. The whole university is dumb and deaf. It can be possible only in US. And there are languages in US, native languages, where there are hardly 10 people, 20 people speak, but that is kept as a subject in the university. Why? Because they know the value of language. Language should not get vanished. Language is nothing but culture. But as I said, there are 1,500 languages in our country. We lost it. We lost it. And we are only proud of English. Unfortunately, that is not true. So now the question here is, the policy says that preserve all the languages of India, preserving and updating various materials and resources, language teacher development. It's very important. One is language, the other one is art. Art, because there are several art even in Tamil Nadu. You just go out and see, there are so many unique things what is happening in and around your village. But nobody is there to continue, and it is killed. The policy says that allow them to teach in the schools. Identify those artists who are in and around the school. Allow them to come as a teacher. The policy clearly says that. Bring them as a teacher, even though they are not qualified, but they have art, which they took it from their family, which has to continue. The family has to feel proud whenever you call them and appoint him as a guest teacher in your school. So that is what the policy says. A beautiful policy script, Unfortunately, people are opposing because it is one government which brought it. But when you look at the, crux of the policy, you will feel, wow. If the same thing is done by US, we would have accepted it. But same thing when it is done in India, we are seeing some opposition. I always say that I am very open for any discussion of the policy points. There are few points which I also don't agree. But overall, 80%, the policy is super. So that is the reason I go and speak everywhere, So many people I am talking. The reason is people should convince the power of this policy, which can bring a lateral shift in the education space of this country. We want that to happen. So language teachers development, strong department and programs. The research foundation has to fund the language protection also. Language is to be retained, its culture, its dialectics, everything should be stored. It is possible if there is only funding is available. See, this is what it says, hire local artists. Hire local artists, because there are so many artists, it's just going, because nobody is practicing it. Why? Because it is not profitable. It is not profitable. High quality program in translation and interpretation. There is a huge demand. Now, you start converting English into Tamil using Google Translator. But it is almost accurate now. It's really, it's a beautiful translation. Even in English to Kannada, whenever I do it, fantastic. Fantastic. After this Chat GPT, it's beautiful. But Chat GPT, some universities have started banning it. I said, don't ban it. Because when internet started, people always felt, oh, internet, no, then it is gone now. Exactly 20 years back. So today we are talking about Chat GPT. After 20 years, what will happen? We don't know. We have to accept and go with it. And the challenge is for the teachers. The challenge is for the teacher. High quality programs in translation and interpretation. There is a huge money. The research fund will come for this. Okay. Student tours. Industry tours. Not, some industry tours are lost its meaning. But basically it says that go and show them the industry tours, and the culture of this nation should be shown to the student. Sanskrit to be a part of multidisciplinary education, because even now Stanford has proved that the computer languages are also very friendly when it is in Sanskrit. That means why I am telling that the Stanford example, then only we agree. If somebody here says it becomes a political issue, if Stanford says, it is correct. Right? So, Sanskrit to be a part of multidisciplinary education. That is what is also suggested in the policy. Scholarship can be established to protect the languages. Promoting traditional arts and Lokavidya. It's very important. It says that whatever is locally available, it needs to be protected. And it's a university responsibility. Okay. Why university responsibility? University responsibility is not simply, giving the certificates and creating graduates. No. It is a responsibility of the institute and the university to protect the respective region, culture, language. That is what the policy says. Because you are the university in this region, you need to protect. It's your job. Create a museum. Create some kind of setup where they feel very proud, and you will be unique in the country in protecting that. These things are possible. Simple things, but it requires a different thinking. Different thinking altogether, then you can make it possible. There may be several things happening in and around this Salem. Identify that, nurture it, protect it. Vinayak Mission will be different. Right? Money may not be a big matter there, but only mindset is very important. Try, please, so that you can be different in one or the other sense. Use of technology in everything, whatever you do. This is very important. It says that using technology, you can reach more people. Using technology, GER can be increased. Without technology, so there is one statement which says that, I used it during my Chat GPT presentation. Whether technology can replace a teacher. This is the basic question. Many people ask whether technology can replace a teacher. The end statement says that technology will not replace a teacher. A teacher with technology will replace a teacher without technology. You got my point? A teacher without technology. That means that if a teacher is not adopting the technology, he will be replaced by a person, a teacher with the technology. So technology will never replace a teacher, but a teacher without technology will be replaced by technology with teachers. So whoever you may be, accept and embrace the technology. You may be retiring in another 2-3 years, but still be tech savvy. Still be tech savvy. Demonstrate that, use it in your classrooms. It's very important, right? Otherwise, your students feel inferior. So in the classrooms, don't hesitate to use the technology. Teacher has to be tech savvy. Otherwise, you will be replaced by a tech savvy teachers, not by technology. Right? So some of the virtual labs you can start. Break or over? Oh, that is fantastic. I am also waiting. Okay, I will stop it. I will finish these slides because there is nothing much left to explain here because it is a policy is very huge. Okay, policy is very huge. Today I am thinking only from the angle of implementation, what you can do. I hope few of you have noted what is possible at Vinayaka Mission. Financing. Implementation, only these are the three sentences given in the policy itself. Only this much is said in the policy. That means it is up to us how to implement it. The last slide, it is very interesting. Please read it carefully. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll break for tea and gather here back again after 10 minutes. I request the audience to come back by 4:15 p.m. Thank you.
kept it there. It's moving. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, we will start. I have two sections to be given a presentation, but I will give you the glimpse, not very detailed. These things, Google also. So now, to you about initiating a depository and academic bank of credit. I hope already Vinayaka Machine has registered as a university. Seamless. That's all. That is the idea of and this presentation, the University of Mumbai, so same presentation I am doing it here. Bank of credit helps in seamless integration of skills and experiences into a credit-based system. The overall idea is a multidisciplinary education we speak. It looks very easy. But how to make it happen? How to make the credit move from one university to other university, and that's a valid credit. That's very important. The policy says 50% of the credit can be earned from anywhere, and 50% minimum has to be earned from the home university. That is the policy says. But as I said in the previous discussions, that at Vinayaka Machine, at least make 20% in the beginning acceptable from online or other institution or a semester abroad. Allow it to happen, because it has its own challenges, but it will add value to your system. Whatever courses not available here, allow them to learn from different places, but you define it, what is allowed for you. In ABC also it clearly says that it is a home university which will decide which it can accept. Nobody can force that you have to accept this credit, I have this credit. No, it is not a student's right. But a teacher, as a teacher, we need to help the students to earn credit, what is acceptable, what is better. That counseling we need to give. That is what even Academic Bank of Credit says. But ultimately, it is a platform where credits gets deposited. It can be transferred from institution A to institution B. Overview. This particular presentation has these topics in it, right? Why ABC? The whole policy is student-centric. Without ABC, it is impossible to implement. Academic Bank of Credit, where students' credits get stored. Flexibility is provided because students can learn from anywhere, wherever he want. It supports multidisciplinary learning. There is academic mobility which happens, the credit mobility, and choosing a specific learning path. Student can choose how he wants to learn. And the whole policy speaks about the fast learners and slow learners also. And the Academic Bank of Credit allows students to complete it in 6 months early. If there are somebody who is really intelligent, they can complete it 6 months early if a course duration is more than 2 years. Any course duration more than 2 years, students are allowed to complete the course 6 months early. That is for the fast learner. For a slow learner, he can learn on his own way, own pace. That is also a possibility here. Multiple entry, multiple exit. The credit gets stored in Academic Bank of Credit. He can avail it before it gets expired. As I said, according to Academic Bank of Credit, 7 years is maximum. But it won't mandate you. You can decide that I will allow only 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, you define. But you can't cross 7 years. ABC says maximum 7 years. Anytime, anywhere, any level of learning is possible with the help of ABC. Academic autonomy is available. Teaching learning happens in a distributed and the blended mode, because you are allowed to learn from online. You are allowed to join some courses offered by an American professor. But tell the student that you earn, I will accept it. If a student wants to learn on his own, his credits gets deposited in the Academic Bank of Credit, but nobody may accept it. That is also there. We need to help the students to understand. Lifelong learning, because people have a habit of accumulating the credit, but that credit may not be redeemed to get the degree. But it is known to the world that he learnt this course because those are available in the academic bank of credit. It can be verified by any verifier. There are 3-4 stakeholders. One is verification of the degree. That verification of the degree person can verify the credit, but I need not accept it to award the degree. That is my choice. So I have to help my student. So if you want to incorporate, define what is allowed. Your students can learn from where, what is acceptable to you. Please define it, allow at least 20%, because that is the only way you can bring multidisciplinary and you can be unique in the country, stating that we are accepting 20% of credit from online or from different courses or a semester abroad. You can send one semester outside and accept the credit, or you send your student to one more university, let him go to that university, spend one semester and come back. You also accept the student from that university to spend one semester here. That way you are improving the diversity in the campus and you are bringing a new culture into the campus. That is possible. Lifelong learning, satisfying quest for knowledge. He can earn. Now what happens? He has a certificate, but it gets accumulated everything in one place. Choose a pace of learning. Usually in India, it is not allowed. Slow learners are considered as a failure here. He lost year. But in US, I took break. It's a common word. I took break. 1 year, 2 years, they will take break and they will come back. They will come back and they will continue the studies. This says that slow learners can go in their own phase. Fast learners can go in their own phase. Both are protected with the help of ABC. Allow student to tailor their degree. Allow students means what? You have to help the student. Because if you allow them, if they choose something else, and if it is not acceptable to your board of studies, then it's of no use. Your board of studies has to help and decide, these are the university A, B, C, my students can take credit this. You have to allow that. That is the only way you can encourage students to earn credit from different universities. So that is about ABC. Organization, it is a digital and virtual repository, and Academic Bank of Credit shall provide variety of services including credit verification, credit accumulation, credit transfer and redemption, authentication of academic records. Authentication of academic record is the biggest challenge now, right? Because there is so many fraud certificates people create and print it and use it. But when they go through Academic Bank of Credit, an authenticator, for example, a foreign university, not only Indian, a foreign university can register as a member in the Academic Bank of Credit. Once they become a member, they can authenticate the academic record. But please note, they are not allowed to do it without the consent of the student. If they want to authenticate some student's record, student has to allow them first. If a student allows, a foreign university can check it. But the host university from where he got the degree should be uploaded those things into the Academic Bank of Credit. So registered higher education institution can only upload the credits. First, the higher education institution has to register. Then the higher education institutions under these regulations will allow that to happen. Course undergone by the students through online modes are also considered. If they earn credit online, that also sits in the Academic Bank of Credit. All norms shall be decided by registered higher educational institution. This is very important. NAP is not mandating the institution to do it. It is the institution choice. What you want to accept, you accept. What you don't want to accept, you don't accept. That is the reason. Norms shall be decided by registered higher educational institution. You are the supreme to decide whether you want to accept it or not. So credit earned and deposited with ABC shall be valid for the purpose of redemption to a degree, diploma, postgraduate certificate for varying duration specified by the credit awarding and credit accepting higher education institution for a maximum duration of 7 years. All these things are released as a gazette notification. Probably you might have seen the gazette notification of Academic Bank of Credit. This is the reflection of that. All higher education institutions under UGC, AICT, NCET are considered. Student may choose courses that is not falling in any particular domain. It is up to the students to choose. Students should also have freedom to take additional course of aptitude beyond the curriculum. It is up to the students to choose. Credit from skill courses can be earned from registered higher educational institution offering occasional courses. That credit also can be included. So credit obtained after academic year 21-22 are alone eligible to put into ABC. And Academic Bank of Credit is essentially a credit-based, highly flexible, student-centric facility. And approval of their statutory authority is important. For example, in your case, it is a board. Board's approval is important before it gets registered. And encourages and enables students to customize or design their own degree utilizing the courses selected by the student from the courses by one or more registered higher education institution. But as a home university, you are responsible for awarding the degree. You will decide whether to accept or not to accept. Students can learn and earn credit. Redemption is up to you. Then it helps them to, courses of their choice and aptitude. They can learn very well. It will maintain a dynamic online directory of higher education institution. Once you go to ABC, all registered institutions are visible, so that I know that these are the institutions from where I can earn the credit. Then it provides the student a counseling and guide. It is very important. NEP says that it is a responsibility of the institution to give proper counseling to student, what to choose, what is acceptable. It is a responsibility of the academic institution. If you don't do that, your students are completely confused. So better way of doing it is put it in your BOS, decide what is acceptable, decide which are the institution, allow them to learn from there. At the same time, if you want to offer any course, you can also offer courses so that other university can register your courses. That is also possible in Academic Bank of Credit. Yeah, once he sufficiently have the credits of that level, because there is a level is also important. If some courses you are saying that, okay, that is a second year courses, I cannot accept it for first year, you need not. So second year, first year, third year, fourth year, you need to define what level of credit is that. Okay, some credit they will earn, you cannot accept it just like an open elective course. It is not an open elective. It can be core also, but you have to decide which level it is. That is where students need your help. Once redeemed, credit earned by the student cannot be used for anything else. But how it happens? As a student, I register, I pay the tuition fees to the institution, I earn that credit will be with me. Then I will pass it to you so that you can use that credit to give me degree. That process is also online. As a student, once I say that I am entering it, I am registered student at one institution, that will come to you as to the academic section, whoever is managing it. He has to see that whether it is acceptable or not. He has the right to accept, reject, partially reject. So once it is done, then that credit will be redeemed. Once you and student both agree to redeem, then it is closed. So that he will not have any choice. After that, no, sir, I don't want to do it. I want to regain it. It is not possible. Once it is redeemed, it is done. Right. That is very important. Avail relaxation of maximum 1 semester. This is something which is first time we are seeing in Indian education system, where students can complete a degree 6 months early. If he is a fast learner, that possibility is given. Slow learner, multiple entry, multiple exit is given. But fast learners, this is 6 months early, they can finish the degree. And also fixed course fee can be charged to the student. Shall pay the fee for registration as an eligible student. But even though Academic Bank of Credit looks so beautiful, There is a threat to the university. What is that threat? Any idea? Any guess? I want you to speak after tea. No, no. The challenge here is when you say that the policy says 50% of the credit can be earned. But till now, we are not charging the tuition fees based on the credit. As soon as we start charging based on the credit, then our revenue will go down. That is a challenge. So that is the reason some institutions are opposing it. We are helping students to learn from anywhere, wherever he wants to learn, still he can get a degree. But if a student decides to earn 50% from outside, our 50% tuition fees will go if we are charging based on the number of credits. That is also a threat. No, they have to take the additional approval and also they have to show the sufficient infrastructure facility. Without that approval, they cannot do it. It also says that they can allow few students in the same classroom if they can accommodate within the allowed strength. If that is beyond allowed strength, then they need to apply for it. If it is approved, then only they can admit. Yeah, that is a policy. That's clearly said here. Yeah. Just 20%. That is just a supernumerary. Approval needs to be taken if you need to go for additional seats. Supernumerary for the existing class, not creating a new section. That's very clearly they said that. Yeah. But what I'm foreseeing is, see, private universities like us, we are all sustaining based on the tuition. We can use it to market our course and earn additional revenue. If our students are going out, then we are losing revenue. It's a balance, field. It's very tough. But till now, I don't think we are charging on a credit basis. We are charging by course. Correct? But if it is converted as a course, because US is credit based, you know that. Each credit, you are going to pay this much. So that may be one of the things what we are thinking. And we are facing that problem with respect to semester abroad in Manipal. I am promoting semester abroad like anything. But now the students are saying, when I am not spending a semester with you, you remove the fees for me. Now the option is simple. It's up to you. You want to go, you go. This is the course fees, not a semester fees. We always say that, it's based on the, we are giving you 4 installment. But how far we can sustain for a private university, it is a challenge. It is up to the institution how they want to admit. It's up to them. Correct. If they don't have capacity, they are not allowed to take. That is what he said. Supernumerary only 20%. Otherwise, they have to take additional approval. Absolutely, I agree. It needs to be facilitated from a different way. Probably, it will be solved. Otherwise, it looks very interesting. But as you said, if there is no place, then they cannot. But online is easy. Online courses can be easily taken. But yeah. Yes, it can be. Maximum 50% is allowed. Yeah, there is a condition for allowing institution to get into registered higher education institution. You can please go through the gazette notification. There are set of conditions who can be a registered higher education institution. This is what is the condition. Whatever you asked, it says that, whether it is allowed or not allowed. And again, there is a proper monitoring and support has to be given to the students to make it more meaningful. And the best department, what they said is IQAC has to manage it. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is just a glimpse of that. There are 4 things: academia, student, verifier, occasional, NSS, and other resources. Begin your digital transformation, DigiLocker. A university has to register and publish the results. Probably you are doing it, right? And digital empowerment to every student. A student has to register independently, and also he has to attach the university wherever he is studying. So enter the requisite details like roll number and year of passing and get it registered. Building nation's digital infrastructure, become a verifier. Anybody can verify the degree from anywhere. But if they want to be a verifier, they need to register. Then, from vocational education, if they are learning from credits from the vocational education, as I said, integrating vocational education into the main education is the expectation of the NEP. So, earning credit from vocational education is also allowed. Then NSS, if they work in NSS and from there also, they can earn credit from this. So, these are the different ways they can earn the credit. And there are different ways, there are 4 different steps of registration. You need not worry about that because it is a institute registrations. Features of this registration as a unique ID. Student will get a unique ID. Just like his bank account number, he will have a number. And what he can do, he can view the credits accumulated, and also he can transfer or redeem the credits, and he can see the steps he initiates, but what is the status of it? That also he can watch. And credit transfer with the conveyance, he can do it. That's possible. So this is the workflow. These are the screenshots of the credit, when he start transferring it. So this is for the institution. Once he initiates, it will come to the institution. Institution will get all that list, whatever you are seeing here, so that they can either accept or reject or send him back, stating that this we will not accept it. You can communicate back to them. So this is the last slide. Can you play one more slide, please? One more slide. Close this. You closed it? The next one is international. There is one more slide. International. Yes. Okay, I will speak about internationalization of higher education. As I said today morning during the curriculum revamp, I said make your curriculum international. It is very important. Unless and until we do that, we can't accept a student from abroad, and our students are not recognized well by Western universities. So, make the curriculum relevant globally. Internationalization of the curriculum is very important. Okay? And today, what I am talking is, there is NEP 2020, the first time in the country's education policy, they have clearly mentioned why internationalization is important and what universities has to do it. These things you have to do it, and it is not that rocket science. Only thing is we need to facilitate, number one. Number two is about the culture in the organization. We have to be more diverse and more adaptable, more progressive in nature, so that our students can become a global citizen, and also global students we can attract to the campus. Therefore, internationalization of education is very, very important parameter. And it also says that India used to attract good number of students from foreign, but that is not the scenario. Now brain drain is happening. It speaks for brain gain. Brain gain. So basically, internationalization of higher education promotes sharing of best academic and research practices through interaction between diverse education system and help developing a global citizen through mobility of students and scholars. It empowers students, staff, institutions with learning from institutions abroad. And it's the ability of the teaching and learning to be increasingly involved with international culture in order to enhance globalized learning. If I am creating an environment or an ecosystem which helps global learning, then I can compete with the global universities. We need to start doing it. Right. Importance, improving the academic quality, internationally oriented students and staff, national, international citizenship for students. Whenever we talk about employability, we should not restrict ourselves to only India. Whether our graduates are globally employable, whether they have acquired the skills required to be recognized as a globally employable citizens. That is very important once they graduate from 4 years. It is not only qualification which is very important. It's overall development which helps them to be a global citizen. That is possible if and only if we make our campus really international. So potential for increased international students enrollment. I said today morning I displayed the number. Anybody remember the number? How many international students are there in India? 47,000. 47,000. And that's a very poor number. But Indian institutions are capable of attracting very good numbers. Especially our IITs, IITs are world-class universities and everywhere it has its own name. But they have failed miserably to attract students to study there. It is because of, sometimes it is too tough for foreign students to pass the degree from IITs. Because they always say that our students are not capable of IITs. Even US top universities, because I have a good connect. I know that they simply say, no, your IIT, nobody can compete. Stanford people are saying this. Because that is the quality of IITs. But, it's a government setup. So there is a challenge. There is a challenge of especially the culture and acceptance. Those are some things. At the same time, the academic rigor is very high in IITs, which foreign students are not in a position to take it. And it helps for a revenue generation and it helps for a brain gain. That is very important. This policy speaks about the reverse flow. And also this policy speaks about, the top 100 universities can set up a campus in India. Okay, it takes a different directions. If I start talking about it, I will not talk it. But the policy says top 100 universities can start a campus in India, but till now nobody adopted. The Deakin started a simple way, but they are still discussing. Which one? Yes, recently changed, but the original says 100. Why it is changed, you hope you know. Among the 100, nobody is willing to come. Nobody willing to come because they are not seeing any value proportion in it. International mobility experience, international teaching experience, international research partnership, internationalization of the curriculum, and preparation of educators and leaders for schools and education system. Very important component is mobility. Today morning when I am talking, I said, send your student abroad for 3 months. When he is returning, he is a different individual. You train them for 10 years in your classroom, you cannot change it. But you push them out, obviously when he is coming, he is a different individual. And he will learn. Our Indian students are super fast in learning. That's my experience. And we send around 1,000 students every year for an exchange. 15 days to 1 year. Manipal number, the pre-COVID number. Around 1,000 students we used to receive. 15 days to 1 year. On a different programs, they come and study. Around 2,000 foreign students study in our campus, including Indian origins. So, mobility experience, teaching partnership, research partnership, and internationalization of the curriculum. Very important one is internationalization of the curriculum. Internationalization of the curriculum is a two-way. One is attracting students from abroad. The second one is helping our students to be a global citizen. Whenever your next syllabus revamp happens, please take care of this. It's very important. Then only you can say that how you are relevant in today's world. Otherwise, we are teaching something which is already rejected by the Western world. Right. Basically, by definition, what is internationalization of the university context is the process of integrating an international, intercultural, global dimension into goals, functions, and delivery of higher education. Everything, not only one thing, it's a teaching learning, it's a research, it is the goals of the university, and whatever you are delivering, everything should be of importance. Then only you can say that internationalization of the university. It's very important by the definition of NITE. So these are the key points. NEP 2020, what it says: to make India an attractive study destination for students, to foster international competency in our faculty and students, to develop global mindset of our learners and shape them as a global citizen, but with deep-rooted pride in India. That is very important. To promote active linkage between India and foreign higher education institutions, to improve global ranking in international indicators. These are the goals. Internationalization at home, we are very successful in doing it. What we do is, whenever I said there are 1,000 students, I attach a student buddy to an incoming student, so that this student is not going abroad, but the student is helping the incoming student. It helps me, reduces my load as an international director, but it helps the student because he will go with that student for 6 months. So internationalization at home. He will be here, my student, but he is attached to a foreign student. Credit recognition under twinning agreement. The government has already cleared twinning, dual degree and joint degree. Probably you have seen the Gazette notification, right? You are allowed to split the degree from 2 campuses. That is allowed. And that is also possible. Global citizenship approach and use technology for all kind of internationalization, academic and research collaboration, brand building, alumni connect, and office for international affairs. If you have office for international affairs, it's well and good. If you don't have, you please have it. I think it's there, right? Fantastic. So this is the MAHE strategy. First one is why we want to do internationalization. We want to be recognized as a global university. We want knowledge transfer. We want diversity and inclusion in the campus. We want stimulating environment in the campus. And we want a strategic partnership. These are the 5 reasons why we want to focus on internationalization at Manipal. How we are doing it? We are building academic and research community. We are serving the international community. We are engaging with global partners and creating a synergy. And also we want to be an essential partner whenever there is a consortium or a board which is available to us. These are the broad strategies what we have adopted for internationalization at Manipal. So the number 1, I will show it by the data. Deeper engagement with top 100 universities. This is the commitment what we have made to get Institute of Eminence to the MHRD. So these are the commitments from the international domain we have made it. That increase the deeper engagement. The commitment was 2017, there were 6 top 100 universities. 2022, we committed 10, but we have achieved 22. 22 universities which are top ranked 100 are partners with MAHE. Achieved 75 partner with top 500 universities, but we have achieved 85. So target 25% of internationally co-authored publications. Today we have around 35% of our publications are co-authored by international authors. Support 20% of the faculty to attend international scientific meet with full fund, but we have achieved around 20% it is already achieved. So these are second strategy, offer academic program that are comprehensive so that it can create a program. We have offered a joint degree, dual degree, joint PhD, which are part of our degrees, and we have collaborators for each one of them. And also we offer a semester abroad, a short study, summer schools, technical exchange internship, which are part of our university. So these are the different numbers with respect to that. Right? Partner with International University for Academic Exchange, recruitment of international faculty. We have created a separate fund to recruit international faculty. The target is 10% of our faculty should be international. So within next 3 years, that is the target. So overseas academic opportunities, we are supporting our faculty to go abroad with minimum salary if they are not getting there. And recruitment of targeted academic like postdocs and other people, international research grants and contracts are also there. So partnering with international university, this is done. Right. The last one is initiate overseas industry and academia linkage. We have good number of multinationals who are partners, and joint development of activities related to global community. And also help our faculty and researchers to be part of the International Board of Global Initiatives. So these are the things what we have done. As I said, our students are helping us. I told you we have more than 150 student clubs, student peer groups. This is one group, ISTA. This group activities, ISTA is an international society which helps for student mobility. Immediately after Second World War, in Europe, people felt that people mobility is the only solution to stop the war. So this is the organization which started that time. Around 360,000 students are transferred from this. I was fortunate to be a board of directors for this organization in the international level for 3 years. So that I could associate myself with the international community. But I am heading Indian chapter for this organization. But it is completely managed by students. It helps for students' mobility from different university to Manipal. And it is one more organization, ISAC, and also ISAC in Mahe is a typical university chapter. Otherwise, ISAC in India, there are 28 chapters which are city-based. But we are fortunate we got university chapter long ago, around 15 years back. These are campus ambassadors, again student team. All our international international students have been taken care by this group of students. They are helping us. And we call them as campus ambassadors. What they do? They do study buddy. They will be associating with international student. They will be marshal. Whenever there is an international guest, they will take guest to different places to show Manipal and surroundings. And we have a projects portal which is available as Maestro. They create a newsletter. The cultural immersion to international students is given by these set of students. So completely supported by students team. So it helps them and it helps us. It's a win-win for both of us. So this is the yearly activity where all international students, they join together and they perform. This is immediately post-COVID. Otherwise, this crowd will be really huge. This is the post-COVID event 2022 we had, that International Students Day in Manipal. Right. So this is the number for you. International ranking as per the Times Higher Education, we are second in India. The number of collaborations are around 260, but this is a little old number. International publication 35%. International students around 12%. International adjunct faculty 142. So this is the data of Manipal in terms of internationalization of higher education. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a very long session, right? I enjoyed my presentation. I do not know about you. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you very much, sir. Participants, if you have any questions, you can clarify with the guest speaker. The session is open for discussion.
Yes, sir, I am coming again.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You told that the fast learners can complete one semester early. And the student doesn't want to leave the college, institute, and he wants to pursue some more credits. But those credits can be put in the mark sheet?
It is up to the institution, sir. But for degree, awarding the degree, you need a minimum credits. Once he earns that credit, you can go ahead. But he can earn it, but additional credit, if the university decides to put it as additional credit earned, it is always good. What we do in Manipal is, already we started giving them honors. And we say that this is the additional credit earned in terms of honors. So that additional things can be given.
So especially the fast learners would like to go abroad for MS and
With additional
other
credits.
courses. So the final semester it is better, the curriculum is so framed that subjects which are taught outside are included in the curriculum so that he can choose those subjects.
I told you today morning, anytime you want to accept a semester abroad, keep one semester free. Semester free means what? Bouquet of subjects. Don't define that these are the 5 subjects what they can take. Say that these are the 30 subjects, they can take anything. Basically, keep that as an elective.
And one last question, sir. Say, for example, when any student want to pursue higher education abroad, whether your Manipal International Cell helps them?
Yes. We have partnership and we will have pathway agreements.
Okay, thank you.
And with partial tuition waive off, without application fees, he will get it. Yeah. Any other questions? 1 or 2? Just to complete the session more meaningfully. I know that it's a tiresome session, right? I am speaking continuously.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable information to us. My doubt is that ABC you are telling, ABC is managed by the student or institution? ABC, Academic Bank Credits, is managed by the student or by the institution?
Student is also a stakeholder. Institutions are also stakeholder. Students can register himself. For example, your student, he gets into that, he registers himself with roll number and institution he selects, but he can only view it. And he can initiate redemption process. He can see the status of the redemption. That's all.
Oh, he is not having any status to access that.
He can access, he can see his credits.
No, he cannot add it.
No, he cannot do anything.
Okay, then once he has credits, got the credits outside, he has to come to our university and they have to inform, and our university only they have to add it.
He need not come physically. He can start
Yes.
redemption online
Online, okay.
on the portal.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, really we have learned a lot from your lecture. It's a new information, lot of information that we have gathered from you. In a new education policy, there's an option being added that add-on courses. That is already, provision is there, and you also spoke about that. The students can take up side-by-side add-on courses, even for the ODL mode. So my question is here, when any university take up introduction of ODL mode, distance education learning, that mode is introducing, that is there necessary to have a permission from the Distance Education Council? Then only the university can take up these courses to introduction of the distance education program. I think that part, if you have,
Obviously,
how
obviously.
Manipal University is doing.
No, obviously. Yes, but here, sir is asking about any ODL institution is also authorized user in the ABC. They have to register and they have to offer. It is just like other universities, sir. There is no difference between ODL or the normal. ODL also has to register and offer the courses that can be taken by a student.
Okay.
And also this flexibility, one more thing which I forgot to tell you, this is so flexible that a student can pursue 2 degrees at a time. Can you imagine? It is not that evening and all, because it allows 50% of the credits to be earned parallelly from a different mode. It allows a 2 degree simultaneously. It may be tough, but if somebody is a fast learner, they can do it. Done?
Sir, finally, in ABC, like we are depositing the credits But some of the programs which are under the statutory bodies, like we don't follow the credit system. So we follow the same old conventional mark system, and we have even annual pattern of, for all those students, like registering into this ABC portal, maybe they may get an ID, but probably because they are not into a credit system, so it's not going to help them, right?
Yeah, yeah. Best example is NMC. So medical council has not yet, allowed it. So that transfer, see, unless and until there is a credit transfer possible, don't get into ABC. When you are entering ABC, that means that you are looking for some credit transfer, number one, as a student. As a verifier, for example, why do you upload your degrees into that DigiLogger? The reason is anybody can verify virtually. You are making verifier's job simple. You are making your degree authenticated. Otherwise, somebody may tamper it. You are making your degree authenticated, verifier can verify it. But student doesn't have any business there because the credit mobility doesn't happen.
So those students who are into programs where credit system is not followed, maybe we need not enroll them for...
Not necessary.
Yes,
Not
okay.
necessary. They need not enroll, but you may have to upload.
Yeah, the
into
documents
DigiLogger.
around, yes.
Yeah. Wherever there is a credit mobility allowed, that is possible. If you take the best example why I took medicine is that is the highly regulated course. So that is the reason I took that NMC example. But for example, your allied health is not regulated yet, correct? No, they are thinking of bringing a new regulator, but not yet. So it's allowed. But all the regulations are going to change. And that is what is happening stage by stage.
Professor, you told something about you have 142 adjunct faculty, no? 150 plus adjunct faculty. And adjunct faculty. Is there any mandatory time they should spend in the university for 1 month or 2 months or something like that? For an
Adjunct faculty, there is no mandate. But if you want to count them as a foreign faculty for a ranking purpose, they need to be in the campus for 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah. If you want to count them as a foreign faculty for the ranking purpose. Otherwise, you can adopt anybody as an adjunct faculty. Online delivery is also okay with that.
So your current faculty strength is 3,600, no?
3,500 to 600.
600, okay.
Yeah.
And you are looking for 10%.
Yes. That is a task given to me. It's a huge task, but I am capable and confident of doing it. Right? Thank you very much. It's a wonderful discussion. And I have to go back at 6:30, so I have to be in the, railway station. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I now request the Deputy Director Academics, Professor Dr. A. Rajan Samuel, VMR of DU, to propose the vote of thanks.
Respected Vice Chancellor, the resource person of the day, university officers, heads of the institutions, head of the departments, and my dear faculty, I am deeply, I have a pleasure in proposing the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank the resource person of the day, Professor Dr. Karnakar Kottekar sir, for accepting our invitation and giving a meaningful contribution towards our steps in the implementation of NEP 2020. Thank you very much, sir, for spending the whole day with us and making it. So we are all thinking about what change we are going to do from tomorrow in our department, in our classroom, in our institution. So this thought-provoking workshop, I think, will go a long way, and we hope that sir will support us in future workshops also. I personally thank the Vice Chancellor and the Director of Academics for encouraging us to do such a program, and all the university officers who supported this program. I thank all the faculty participants who have given your fullest cooperation, and I appreciate the willingness to learn. And I thank the Dean, VMKV Medical College, for all their support with their team. I thank all the support staff for making this program a success. And finally, I would wish that all of us, whatever we have received today, probably we will have to spread the knowledge to all the other faculty in the organization, and maybe also to spread the information to even the other people who are outside the organization, and finally implement this policy in full spirit for the benefit of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request the gathering to rise for the national anthem. Thank you everyone.